All right, Shalom Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. Good to see everybody that came in person. Shout out and shalom to you and your households and your families. Shout out and shalom to everybody online. Good to see everybody back online. Today is a continuation of what we started last Wednesday, but kind of move forward past the topic. We'll do a quick recap. But first and foremost, shout out and shalom to Stream of Wisdom out in Rochester, New York, Houston, Texas, and also Norfolk, Virginia. And also shout out to Kawakab down in Guatemala and all the brothers' households and families. Shalom and may the Most High strengthen and further encourage everyone that listens online as well. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. Last week we were talking about when things don't go my way, as far as how do I process when I don't get what I want. You know, what happens when I don't get what I want. Because the actions are manifested differently when we pursue something and it doesn't fall according to our plans. You know, we get upset, we blame others, we take it out on people around us, so on and so forth. So today, the topic, if you want to write this down, is called, what do I do if things aren't going my way? All right? What do I do if things aren't going my way? It is a continuation from last Wednesday. So if you didn't see it last Wednesday, go back and check it out.
A slight breakdown last Wednesday was...
Yeah, let's... Matter of fact, we will need the Josephus for today if we can pull those out and pass those out as well. Last week, just a quick recap from last week. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. And that's in the Apocrypha. And then that is on page
63.
Page 63 in the Apocrypha. Small red book. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14.
And this is kind of a quick recap about how we started off last Wednesday, and we'll just briefly, within 5 minutes, I hope, just kind of go back and touch some of those points from last Wednesday. I know it's been a whole week. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
What we found out last week is that what goes on and circulates inside of a man's mind is what?
Miserable.
Is miserable. Misery, we found out last week, was associated with what? Start with a C. Covetousness. Misery was associated with covetousness.
And covetousness is what? Just, I need something, I gotta have this. I see what someone else has, I want it, or I see other people enjoy, and I don't enjoy those same things.
Yeah.
Is that like a layman's term of saying covetousness?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Now, keep in mind, last week, we talked about the definition of miserable means extremely unhappy. Extremely unhappy or covetous. Why am I covetous? Having a covetousness is a strong desire or a lasciviousness or a strong want for something. So if I have a strong want and I don't get what I want, what happens to our thought processes?
It gets negative.
It gets negative. Naturally, the mind turns negative when it's not satisfying its desires. So if I have things that I want to accomplish and I don't see these things coming to pass soon enough, what happens is I start to turn sour and I start to turn bitter when things aren't happening the way I want it to happen. So the misery of man is always in his mind. He said, read it again. He said the thoughts. Read it one more time.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal man are miserable.
They're what?
Miserable.
He said the thoughts of mortal man is miserable because man wants something, and when man doesn't get what he wants, he says he turns bitter. He turns into a miser.
Yeah.
A bitter, sour person. It affects his personality, who he is, how he speaks, how he thinks, how he behaves. So there's something about man when man doesn't get what he wants. There's something that goes on that contaminates the thought processes. And that we're going to continue on. We're just kind of touching base from last Wednesday about what the topic was so we know how to pick up and move forward on this. And what we also found out last week in Colossians, next brother real quick, Colossians chapter 3 and read verse 5.
Black book? Anybody have a black book?
Colossians chapter 3 verse 5.
Colossians chapter 3 verse 5.
One second. Colossians 3 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
3 and 5. It's page 831. Page 831 in the black book.
And we found out also last week that covetousness was an inordinate desire. It's a desire that I want that maybe the Most High don't want for me, or that the Most High didn't have in my cards or wasn't planned for me. But it's something I still want. I still want it real bad, and I want it so bad that covetousness becomes like something an equivalence. We'll find out what that is. Read that.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon earth.
Mortify means to put to death the desires. The members have desires, has wants. Read on.
It says fornication.
It says fornication. What else?
Uncleanness.
Go ahead.
Inordinate affection.
Things that I want that the Most High don't want for me, but I want it though.
But so the affection is something I have a passion for or I have desire for.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that there's an out of order desire.
Yep. It's out of order because it wasn't given to me, but I still want it.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Evil concupiscence.
And he says evil concupiscence. What else?
And covetousness.
He says and covetousness. Go ahead.
Which is idolatry.
We find out that covetousness in the Bible is also what?
Idolatry.
So if I want something so bad that the Lord didn't give to me, that thing that I want so bad has become a what?
Idol.
It's become an idol. Because that's the only thing that I see in front of my eyes. That's the only thing that I could think about. I think about this all the time. It's the only thing that rules my thought processes. So it has grown into an idol. So we found this out last week as well, right? So the answer to defeat this, to overcome these thoughts or wants that we have that are so extreme, is already in the same chapter. Just jump up to verse 1 and 2.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead.
If ye then be risen with Yahushua, seek those things which are above.
So this is why Paul is saying that if you're trying to be like Christ, then put your mind and your thoughts in the right place. Your mind and your thoughts has to be in the right place. Read on.
Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of the Most High.
Read on.
Set your affections.
Set the things that you care about. Set the things that you want so bad. The things that you want so bad should be where? Read on.
Set your affection on things above.
That you're not even thinking about establishing yourself so much as in a carnal, physical, worldly manner. I'm trying to establish myself and sit next to Christ in heaven. That's where my mind should be at on a regular basis. How do I get to heaven? How do I get where Christ and the Most High sits? How do I sit at his table? How do I eat and dine with Christ and the Most High? But our minds is usually on something carnal, something earthly, something physical, something material. Read on.
Set your affection on things above, not on things on earth.
It says not on things where?
On earth.
He's telling you right there how to fix something that you want to not allow it to grow into an idol. Get your mind off of it and put your mind out of this world. Elevate your mind out of this worldly carnal thought processes and desires.
So the source of my negative internal disposition or my negative internal nature, that's based off of just focusing on the physical world, just focusing on the material world, and just desiring to, I guess, get as property or to find a way to have control or possession of something in this physical world. That is a source, not maybe the source, but that is a source of internal despondency and dejection and sadness and anger and madness.
Oh, it's one of the main reasons why I'm not happy, because I'm not getting what I want in my life. And this is why people's lives, they consider them miserable. Now, we talked about last week how the Most High said that he gave us things that are necessities as far as for life. One was salt, iron, blood of the grape, flour of the wheat, water, honey. He said those are essential.
And you said a house to cover shame?
And one of them is a house to cover shame. But these are necessities. Everything else is just a want. Everything else is just an inconvenience. We have real problems. If you don't have water and salt, you got a problem. 99% of the time you go to the hospital and you come in sick, they stick an IV in your arm. What is the solution in the IV?
Saline.
Saline. What is saline?
Saline, salt and water.
It's just salt and water. 99% of the time, That's all they're gonna give you to get you before they even analyze you.
Or Tylenol.
Yeah, Tylenol, some saline, which is salt water.
Yeah.
Obviously, your body needs salt. So, if you don't have those things, you got a problem. Everything else in life, if you don't have it, it's just an inconvenience. But the topic last week is about learning how to separate the two. Learning how to separate things that are real issues versus minor inconveniences. But the things that we want, because we don't get them, they become real problems to us. We look at it like, man, I can't move it on in life unless I have this thing.
I can't live without it.
I can't be happy in my life unless I've obtained this status or I reach it to this level or something material. So the answer to fixing this is to put your mind out of the earth, out of the body, and the needs and wants of the body. The Most High, that's what Christ said, pray to the Most High that He give you your daily bread. He feeds you every day. Did you eat today? Cool, you should be happy. Did you put clothes on? Cool, you should be happy. But man is miserable because it's not just food and clothes that he wants. He wants something else. Man wants more than that. So, 1 Timothy chapter 6, next brother, chapter 6, verse 5.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5.
And that's page what? 838? Page 838?
Whenever y'all ready.
Yeah, whenever you got it, you can read it.
All right. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Perverse disputings
It
of
says,
men.
so if you're around somebody who is unhappy in life because they're not getting what they want and things aren't going their way, he says, we talked about this last week, men will start disputing. Men will start arguing about, there'll be problems when people don't get what they want. Fights ensue. Debates ensue. Arguments ensue when people don't get what they want. Read on.
Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds.
Stop. What's wrong with this person?
Corrupt
But where are they corrupt at?
in the mind.
Where are men miserable at?
In the mind.
It's all starting where?
In the mind.
Everything starts in here. You gotta, if things aren't going your way, you gotta ask yourself, what is going on in here? What is going on in my mind? It says the mind has become corrupted. Read on.
And destitute of the truth.
And it's absent. Destitute means to be absent of the truth. The truth is not there. Read on.
Supposing that gain is godliness.
And what's wrong? And why is this individual corrupt?
Supposing that gain is godliness.
Because they feel like I have to be acquiring something. I have to be in the state of acquisition and acquiring my happiness. I have to pursue my happiness. Like Will Smith, I'm on a pursuit of happiness. Like Kid Cudi, I'm on a pursuit of happiness.
Right.
I gotta find my happiness. I gotta find my joy. I gotta find the things that fulfill me in life. Well, what you're gonna find out is there's nothing in this life that will actually fulfill you. What you will find out is there's nothing in this life that will actually provide joy. It's not built that way. How do we know this? When you go to St. John chapter 6, verse 63. Go to St. John, next brother, real quick. St. John. And what page are we on? St. John chapter 6.
748.
Page 748.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's 749.
749. And we're page 749, and we're holding the other verse, 1 Timothy.
6.
All right? Yeah, read that.
John chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
He says it's the spirit that does what?
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
That quickeneth. Go ahead.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
What you do, Moselle, is you get the Bible and you get the verse first, and then you swap it out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You just swap the Bibles. Yeah.
Okay.
But you get the Bible first, and you get it first in this one, and then once you find it, you swap it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a swap.
Yeah, it makes it smooth. So, and we'll slow down too. There's no rush.
Yeah.
There's no rush. What are we holding right now? 1 Timothy chapter 6, right?
First Timothy chapter 6, God.
And then we're on St. John chapter 6, verse 63. Because St. John is going to tell us that is there anything material in this life that can inspire us spiritually? Read that in St. John.
John chapter 6, verse 63.
Read that.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Quickeneth means to be brought to life. So, to be animated.
Yeah.
So, he said it's the spirit that does that,
God.
that brings a person to life. Read on.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
No, I can work out all day.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
I can lift weights and feel fulfilled.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
I can find my joy surfing on the beach.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
I can do those things in the flesh, but it doesn't do anything for my what?
Spirit.
It doesn't do anything for my spirit. I can make 100,000 a year. Yeah, you can do that in the flesh, but does 100,000 benefit the spirit? No.
I'm gonna have self-care day after self-care day after self-care day.
Yeah. And I'm still unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm still not fulfilled because you can't be fulfilled in money. Nothing in the world can actually fulfill you.
Uh-huh.
He said, it's the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited what?
Nothing.
Read on.
The words that I speak unto you,
Christ said the words that he's telling us, that he's speaking out of his mouth. Read on.
they are spirit,
They are the spirit that brings us to life. And what else?
and they are life.
And this is what inspires our life, is the words of Christ. So until I understand, adopt, and acquire the words of Christ, I will always be unfulfilled in this life, and I will always be in pursuit of some other joy that's artificial. I will always be in pursuit of something else that I suppose that makes me happy. That's what we're saying in 1 Timothy chapter 6. And read that again in 1 Timothy chapter 6.
God, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5.
They say everybody wants what they can't have.
Yep.
1
They
Timothy
do.
6 and 5.
Oh, they finally get it. They're still not happy.
That's the crazy part.
They still get it. Read.
God, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth,
Read on.
supposing that gain is godly.
So what happens if you put yourself around individuals who are always on the money chase? Always on the happy chase. Either I'm trying to get high, I'm trying to feel good, I'm trying to get throwed, I'm trying to get drunk, I'm trying to have fun, I'm looking for joy, I'm looking to be stimulated, or I'm on a money chase, or I'm on a woman chase, or I'm on some type of chase. Because they think that acquisition actually brings joy and fulfillment. He says, do what?
From such,
Do what?
read on, from such withdraw thyself.
He said, you got to get away from a person who's on a money chase. You got to get away from a person who is chasing something artificial that's not the spirit of the Most High in Christ. Because what's happening is this person, in the pursuit of whatever it is that they're looking for, when you put yourself close to these individuals, what happens as soon as they don't get what they want?
They start trying to take advantage of you.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah, negative.
What happens when you pursue something that you don't get to stuff that you want, you get upset, you get angry, you get depressed, you get sad, you go through all these emotions, you start throwing a hissy fit.
So the
Don't
person,
handle
this is the person
No.
that you're hanging with
Yes.
that isn't getting what they want.
Now, listen, I'm going to ask it again. What happens when you're around the scripture says, for somebody that's chasing something, that in their mind, gain is godliness. The more I acquire, the better off I am as a person. I got the wrong pursuits. I want to get what I want, and I want things to go my way. When somebody's on that chase or that pursuit, what happens when they don't get what they want when you're around this individual?
Envious.
Envious? Strife?
They start to blame you, so to speak.
Well, what you got?
You become exposed to what you're really about.
True. Well, let's find out, going back to the beginning of the Bible. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. Because we just read in Timothy That he said when you're around somebody that has the wrong idea about happiness or the wrong idea about what life should be like, what a good life is, he says withdraw yourself, separate from this individual.
Page 3.
So we're in Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. Read that.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
It says, now, has anybody ever heard of Cain and Abel?
Yes.
All right. It's one of the first stories in the Bible. And after the creation, the first two stories you read about in the Bible is a dysfunctional household between a husband and a wife.
That's a crazy story.
A dysfunctional household
That's one way to put it. That's crazy.
is the first story.
Yeah.
And people that don't know how to love each other as brothers.
Yeah.
Brotherhood gone bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, family turmoil is the first stories in the Bible after creation. Family dysfunction.
All for it.
So he said, read it again.
God, Genesis 4 and 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
But Abel's mind, let's find out what Abel's mind was. Both sons were offering a sacrifice to the Most High. They both brought something to the Lord. It says Abel brought what?
Of the firstlings of his
It
flock.
says the firstlings of his flock. What does that mean? Anybody?
Best of the best.
The best, yeah.
The best of,
Baddest.
so whenever the herd expanded and the herd had little goats and little sheep were born, he picked out the best of what the Most High gave him, of his wealth, of his resources. He picked out the best and he sacrificed that to the Lord. So it shows you what was his priority.
Most High.
The Most High was his priority. I'm going to make sure I take care of the Most High for giving me these blessings. I'm going to take care of the Most High first. The Most High is first when it comes to making sure he's taken care of. Then I'll keep whatever's left over and I'll deal with whatever's left over. But the first priority is always the Lord. I'm going to put the Most High first. This was Abel. Read on.
Brought of the firstlings of his flock and the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Can we say that the Lord acknowledged his offering? Can we say he respected his offering?
Yep.
Meaning the Most High took pleasure in what he was doing by watching a man put the Most High first. Can we say that was pleasurable to the Lord?
God.
Read on.
Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect.
He said, but to Cain and what he brought to the table, he said he had no what?
No respect.
Read on.
And Cain was very wroth.
It said, but Cain was what?
Very wroth.
It said very wroth. Wroth means extremely angry. Now, the question was in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Why does the Bible say withdraw yourself when you have people that have corrupt minds thinking that gain is godliness? It says, from such withdraw thyself. Why do you separate from people that have the wrong pursuits, the wrong innovations, the wrong ideas in life, the wrong imaginations in life?
Because they're on the path of destruction.
Because they're on the path of what?
Destruction.
And who they going to take with them?
Whoever's near him.
They going
Whoever's
when they don't get what they want,
exactly.
they're going to take it out on who?
Person next.
You.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when people don't get what they want.
Right.
When people don't get what they want, there's going to be some backlash. But the backlash is coming to the person right next to them.
They say you hurt the ones
Close
you
to
love,
to you.
close to you. But now we know why.
Right.
Well, they're like, oh man, you know it's the nature of man to hurt the ones closest to you. But why? Because you're not getting what you want.
Yep. You don't get what you want. Because that's what people, this is the normal routine and behavior and mannerisms of people that don't get what they want in life. They get angry and they take it out on somebody right next to them. Yes, ma'am.
I was just thinking it makes sense that they would be very angry because if you're making your pursuit or whatever you're after, your idol, your God, then the Most High is not in that position. So clearly he's not going to give you what
You won't be rewarded whatsoever.
you want.
Yeah. So if I don't get rewarded behind the things that I'm chasing, and so I'm dissatisfied. Now I'm angry. My emotions are on high. I'm full of wrath. So now I'm just gonna take it out on the people around me. That's the next course of action. Is what happens when you get the stop sign put on you by the Lord.
Well, I'm just having a bad day.
You cannot pass go. You're not going. Nothing that you touch.
Come.
You're gonna have the touch of death. Everything you touch ain't gonna work. It's gonna break down. I'm so angry. I'm just taking it out on the people around me. Why are you so angry? We understand now. Read on.
Come. And Genesis?
No, yeah, Genesis. Mm-hmm.
Come. Genesis 4 and 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
A sad countenance is depression. That's an emotional, psychological issue. That a depression. People fall into depressions, a slump, whatever you want to call it, a slump, a depression, a setback. They fall behind, whatever. They go dark. You know,
because
man, that's something I want to bring
the
up.
object that they were focused on didn't really verify them. I didn't get verified. This object verifies me. This symbol that I'm chasing verifies me. It makes me feel like I'm a bigger person, or makes me feel like I'm somebody. So because I don't get that out of the Most High, and I'm pursuing the Most High, and serving the Most High, and the word of the Most High doesn't make me feel verified, I have to replace it, like Shashawan said, with something artificial. And if I can't get that artificial reward, that artificial high, then someone has to suffer to make me feel like I gotta feel better. I need to feel good by someone else having to suffer. That's a low form of self-gratification, bro. Something has to die in order for me to feel better. Something has to suffer in order for me to feel better. That's almost subhuman. It's animalistic.
Keep going. I want to add one more thing real
It's
quick.
animalistic for me to feel like, you know what? If I don't get this immediate gratification, you know what? Then if I'm in pain, what does misery love?
Company.
So because I'm in pain, I want y'all to feel what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I found it.
So now I'm going to make you feel pain, so I don't feel alone in my pain.
Now, Philo talks about this too. Like I said, depression, a slump.
Yep.
I go dark. I disappear. I get silent. I get quiet when I don't get what I want. I isolate myself.
Yeah.
Read this right here, page 494. Read this right here, and it is generally.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it is generally the case that a cloud is thrown over the affairs.
Stop. He said this is. Philo wrote this around 30 BC. No, around 30 BC. He was born around 30 BC. This had to be written around probably 20 or 10 AD or CE, the Common Era. So this is over 2,025 years old. What he's saying. He said it is generally what?
And it is generally the case that a cloud is thrown over the affairs.
It says a cloud covers the affairs of who?
Of those who are not flourishing.
Stop. What did Philo say 2,000 years ago?
A cloud covers those of those who are not flourishing.
So it says 2,000 years ago, it was known among ancient writers that a dark cloud follows people that are not what?
Flourishing.
Flourishing. So can we say that that damn who had the cloud?
Linus.
Linus had the cloud on him, and it wasn't Snoopy. It was Linus.
Peanuts.
It was Peanuts. Yeah, Peanuts.
Is that what's raining?
Yeah, it was always raining over his head, man. What does that mean? That means it's known and it's commonly known among ancient writers that people carry a dark cloud over them when they're not happy, when they're not flourishing, when they're not getting what they want. I just want to bring that out because this is what's happening to Cain right now. We're reading
This is not the modern age. This is a modern problem.
It's not new.
They're just all you do is doom scroll. Nothing about that. I'm not getting what I want. I'm upset. I'm angry, and now I'm building negative momentum, and people can feel it, and my face projects it. and my actions start to affect people around me. This is the personality, and this is the actions of a person that has this cloud. Shoshamon's breaking down.
Yep. Genesis chapter 4, verse 6.
Genesis 4 and 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth?
And the Lord asked Cain, why are you so angry? Why are you so depressed? Why are you so sad? Read.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
Why aren't you happy? Read on.
If thou doest well.
Stop. What did the Lord say?
If thou doest well.
Did he specifically say what doest well means?
No.
He didn't really say it. He just said if you doest well, what?
Shall thou not be accepted?
He says if you do what's right, if you do what's well, he says thou shalt be accepted. That definition of the word accepted means to be exalted. It means elevation or uprising. What is the Lord telling them?
Do right.
He'd be lifted up.
He said, I'll lift you up if you do us well. He said, if you do us well, he said, I'll lift you up. Uplifting, it means to be elevated. It means exaltation, or to be exalted, or to be placed on high, or to be brought up. The Lord told Cain, listen, I'll bring you up. I'll lift you up. I'll bless you. I'll reward you. I'll honor you if you do as well. He just didn't say specifically what that was. But he said, if thou doest well, he said, I'll exalt you. Right?
Okay.
That's what he said, right? So we can only guess what what behavior and what attitude the Most High wants us in, that he will lift us up. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 14 and verse 11.
Come.
Because we're still asking, what is that? What does the Lord mean when he says, if thou doest well, thou shalt be exalted. Thou shalt be elevated. Thou shalt be lifted up. When does the Most High lift us up?
Oh, this is a major scripture, right?
Luke chapter 14, verse 11.
Come, Luke chapter 14 and verse 11 reads, For whosoever exalteth himself...
Stop. If you exalt yourself, read on.
Shall be abased.
It says if you make yourself number one, the Most High said, I'm gonna bring you down. Read on.
And he that humbleth himself.
But he said the Bible says, he that humbleth himself, read on,
shall be exalted.
So when does the Most High exalt us?
When you're humble.
I'm gonna say it again. When does the Most High exalt us? Who does the Most High exalt?
Only the humble.
He exalts the humble. So when he asked Cain, he told Cain, if thou doest well, thou shalt be exalted. You should be lifted up. What was the Most High telling him?
If thou be humble.
If you humble yourself. What was Cain having a problem with?
Not being humble.
Cain had a problem with humility.
That was exposed.
Yeah. He was having trouble with humility. He only thought about himself first.
And humility, a lack of humility is pride, of course, which is an unduly high opinion of oneself. But an unduly high opinion is also what? A delusion.
Yep. And the war brought that out, been bringing it out on Monday.
So when a person has, because all these classes connect, when a person has a delusion of what they deserve, what level they're on, what they want and when they want it, and they better have it now, that delusion over time ends up manifesting in broken relationships and broken friendships, broken marriages, because I'm not getting what I want, but I'm still married. I'm not getting what I want, but I still have brothers around me. I'm not getting what I want, but I still have people that need me. And so now I'm going to give less to my work, less to my people, less to that are connected to me, because I'm angry. And we just say, I have an anger problem. Do I have an anger problem? Or do I have a covetous problem? Or do I have a pride problem?
Oh, am I chasing the wrong things? And I'm pursuing the wrong things in life? Is the Most High not my priority?
That's probably the real issue.
Let's find out what Christ says. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and let's read verse 19.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19,
So
page
Matthew-
675.
Perfect. Page 675.
675.
All right.
Let's read that.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
Sounds familiar? This time it's coming out of whose mouth?
Christ.
It's coming out of Christ's mouth. Christ is telling us where the priority should be. We're still dealing with priority. We're still dealing with focus.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with things that pertain to your desires and your wants and your affections, your passions. Read.
Where moth and rust doth corrupt,
Go ahead.
and where thieves break through and steal.
Can I hit that point real quick? That moth or dust corrupt
Rust.
or rust, those are outside circumstances that disappoint you, that you can't control. Where thieves breaking and steal, those are events you cannot control. I can't control my condition. I can't control how I get things. And when I get these blessings that I call blessings, these things I call priority, I can't really necessarily keep them. People go broke every day. Cars crash every day. People can lose jobs every day. The thing that you're fighting to attain can easily be destroyed or canker or break down and diminish. You can get the object, but will it last? It's probably not going to last. And men get mad about that too.
Oh, yeah.
I got her and it didn't last.
Or I've invested all this and it's all for nothing.
And it's all for nothing.
Which we read about last week, which Solomon said he went on to pursue every pleasure possible, and he added it up, and he said it was all what?
Vanity.
It was all vanity. It was all worthless. Every pursuit Solomon gave his mind to and every pleasure, he said it was vanity. So Christ is saying the same thing. Don't chase the wrong things. Put your mind somewhere where earthly decay cannot come in contact with it. You build something and it's built to last. Read on.
Verse 21. For where your treasure is.
He says, for what?
For where your treasure is.
He says, for what you find valuable. Read on.
There will your heart be also.
So, your cares and your desires and the things that you find valuable will also be attached to your mind. Your mind is attached to the things that you find affectionate. Your mind is attached to the things that you care about. Your mind is tethered to the things that you find pleasurable.
That's facts.
Your mind is going to go where your heart, that's why it says where your treasure is, your heart will be also. They go together. Your affection and your thoughts go together. The things you want in life so bad will also have a handcuff on your mind. Your wants and desires are affiliated with your thoughts. That's where the mind is at. The mind is, so what Christ is saying is, put your mind in the right place. Or better yet, put your affection in the right place. Read on. You had something?
Yeah, Proverbs 13 and 12. Just with that point you had.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 13 and 12.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12.
What was the last 5 words of that last previous scripture? What was the last statement?
There will your heart be also. Yeah, there will your heart be also. There will your heart be also.
So your mind is where wherever you're chasing, whatever object you're chasing, that's where your heart's at. Now read Proverbs 13 and 12.
Well, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Hope deferred.
Because I put my hope in these objects. I put my hope in these dreams in my head. I put my hope in this idea that I'm trying to actualize. Read.
Hope deferred.
What does deferred mean?
Deferred meaning diminished.
You don't get it.
You don't get it. Okay.
You're not getting what you want. You're not getting your way. Deferred means you gotta wait a long time. Or it don't come. Or it don't come when you want it. Hope deferred. No matter what hope it is. Read.
Maketh the heart sick.
It makes the heart what?
Sick.
It makes the heart sick. Where a man's treasure is, his heart will be also. And you put your hope in that treasure. When you don't get that treasure, you don't get that hope, then your heart gets what?
Sick.
It gets sick. We call it depression. We call it sadness. We call it anger. We call it wrath, delusion, pride. Different paths, but it's the same root course. The root course is I'm chasing things that don't apply to the Father. They apply to just my natural physical wants, my natural fleshly needs, quote unquote needs.
Yep. And let's go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 5. Start at verse 6 again.
Come. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Mm-hmm.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
He says, shall thou not be what?
Accepted?
And we know accepted means elevated, to be lifted up. Read on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
And he said, if you don't take the advice that I'm giving you, if you don't humble yourself and make me priority, he says, sin lieth at the door. Right? Read on.
And unto thee shall be his desire.
And you're going to want what your brother has. Which we brought that out earlier, is what happens when you don't get what you want and you're around somebody that is chasing a dream and they're not manifesting the things that they're chasing. What happens?
They hurt the people, bring you down, destruction.
Say it again.
They're going to hurt you, hurt everyone around them, because they're on the path to destruction.
Yeah, and so what's the natural behavior of the person that doesn't get what they want? That's why in 1 Timothy he said, withdraw yourself from somebody that has the wrong intentions. It's chasing the wrong things, wrong motivations. Read.
And unto thee shall be his desire.
What else?
And thou shalt rule over him.
Now, that definition of rule, get the verb, Kariah, on the definition of the 1828 dictionary of the word rule. Get the verb rule. It says, thou shalt what?
And thou shalt rule over him.
Go ahead.
On the verse?
Yeah, the definition.
Crime. Rule, 1828, Webster's Dictionary. It says, to govern, to control the will.
So what happens when you want something so bad and the Lord puts a stop to it? He doesn't give you what you want, but you got people around you that's getting blessed. So what do you try to do?
Control the will.
So you start becoming what?
Control.
You become a control freak. Now you're trying to control who gets blessed and who doesn't. Now you're trying to control the people that the Most High is showing favor to.
Cause I don't want to feel like they're getting above me.
Because you know what?
I'm losing rank.
Because because it makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad. Their success does what for me? It makes me feel less than but it's another word too. Start with an I.
What was the statement?
What do you call it when somebody else's success around you makes you feel less than than a person?
Oh, insecure.
Thank you. It's what?
Insecurity.
Man, on this episode of Jeopardy, your wife has won $300. I'll buy it out.
3 bills to you.
So what happens when people around you are doing better than you? What happens to you?
You get insecure.
You grow insecure. What is God warning Cain of? He's trying to tell him, if you don't do right, I'm going to still keep blessing the people that's doing well. You're going to grow what?
Insecure.
You're going to become insecure. Because you don't like the fact that they're doing better than you.
Yeah.
Do we understand this?
Yeah.
So get that definition again.
Crime. It says to govern, to control the will and actions of others.
Now I'm trying to control the will of who?
Others.
Now I'm trying to dominate people. Now I'm trying to control people around me. Trying to boss people. I'm the super boss now. Why? Why am I now trying to control the people around me?
Insecure.
Because I'm what?
Insecure.
Because I'm insecure. Somebody else's success and doing things better than me makes me insecure.
And, and this is not just the Bible. This is in life in general. Because even Herod, right? I'm not going to talk about it all day, but Herod, one of his sons was kind of tall, and they said whenever he was around his dad, he had to crouch, and he had to crouch and had to walk around like this. Had to put a hump on his back. When they went hunting together, he had to
Miss.
he purposely had to miss because if he hit the target and he was tall, his father would hate him as that much more.
It's real.
It's just he couldn't control how tall he was.
The hate is real. or the fact that he hit the target.
Yeah.
So he's showing you the nature of man. When man isn't getting what he wants, but other people are still getting blessed around him, he grows extremely insecure with himself. Because you're making me look bad. You're making me feel bad. Because you got something I don't. The Most High was actually trying to do Cain a favor and warn him in advance, hey, you got the wrong pursuits. But your behavior is going to change when you got the wrong pursuits. It's going to change your behavior. So that definition, Kariah. One more time.
Rule 1828, Webster's Dictionary. It says, to govern, to control the will and actions of others.
Now I become an overlord trying to control the actions and the will of other people. Read on.
Either by arbitrary power and authority or by established laws.
Or I'm going to start telling what they can and cannot do. Read on. What else?
It says, to govern the movements of things, to conduct, to manage, to control. Now
I become very controlling. What do you call a person that's over controlling? A person that's over controlling, a control freak. What do you call that? Yes, sir.
Tyrant.
A tyrant. What's another word for a tyrant?
Dictator.
What's another word for a dictator?
Oppressor.
Say it again.
An oppressor.
An oppressor. He's showing you that people that don't get what they want, but they have to suffer the successes of other people around them, they become a what?
An oppressor.
They become an oppressor due to insecurity. Now I become an oppressor because I don't like the fact that somebody else have an advantage over me. So now I got to make sure nobody has the advantage over me, and I become an oppressor. The Most High is telling Cain exactly what's going to happen if you don't have the right aim, if your focus isn't in the right place. This is the natural conduct and behavior of somebody that starts to fall away from the Most High. They become oppressors, overlords, extreme control freaks, dictators, tyrants, simply because you're not getting what you want. Now everybody got to suffer. Now nobody can be happy. That's what he said, right?
Nobody can get blessed.
Nobody can get blessed.
Hide your blessings.
So, where is Cain operating at? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. Go ahead, so.
Just hold it. Did everybody get it? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. Read that.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk.
Gentiles, by definition, one definition is people that do not know the God of the Bible. It's one definition of Gentile. Read on.
In the vanity of their mind.
People that don't know the God of the Bible walk in the vanity of what?
Of their mind.
So what does he mean? What does the Bible mean when he says there's people that walk in the vanity of their mind? What is he referring to? Hold this and go to Ecclesiastes in the red pocket. We're going to come right back to this verse. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 24. He said the Gentiles walk in the vanity of their mind. What is he talking about?
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 24.
And that's okay, 72. Cool.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 24. For many are deceived.
They said many people are deceived by what?
By their own vain opinions.
They said by what?
Their own vain opinion.
It says, what makes people vain? When people walk in the vanity of their mind, they're actually operating in their what?
Vain opinion.
So what makes a person that the Most High is, when he's talking about be not like the Gentiles, which don't know the Most High, who operate in their own vain what?
Opinion.
So can we understand what the vanity of the mind is? The vanity of the mind is a person that's highly what? Opinionated.
Another word for vanity in 1828 is arrogance.
Or that man.
That's crazy, bro.
Write that down. Another word for vanity is what?
Arrogance.
So a person that's walking in the vanity of their mind is a person that's opinionated, and they're also what? Arrogant. So the Most High does not want us to walk in our opinion and in our arrogance. What you got?
I got some more right here on the lifestyle point. Vanity. 1828, Webster's Dictionary, point number 7. It says, inflation of mind upon slight grounds, empty pride, inspired by an overweening conceit of one's own personal attainments or decorations.
So it's somebody that's inflated. They're self-inflated. They're inflated. They've inflated their own ego based on decorations, what they feel like they've accomplished, and where they are in life. So the Bible is telling us don't walk like the Gentiles who operate in ego or pride or arrogance. Now let that go. Let's go back to where we at in Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
Go ahead.
Having the understanding darkened.
It says their understanding starts to become darkened. What is happening to Cain?
His understanding is becoming dark.
His understanding is starting to change. That's the truth. So when I operate out of my opinion and out of my arrogance,
Not the scriptures.
my understanding starts to go dark. And what happens?
Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High.
And that does what with your relationship with the Most High?
Being alienated.
Alienated means to separate from. What does pride and arrogance do with your relationship with the Father? It separates you from the Most High. Read on.
Being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them.
It says through the ignorance that's in them, because they chase the wrong things. They want the wrong things in life. Read on.
Because of the blindness of their heart.
It says because their mind is in. Because remember, where your heart is, where your treasure is, your heart will be where?
There also.
Your heart will be attached to your affections, to your wants. Read on.
Who, being past feeling,
it says they go beyond their feelings. Read on.
Have given themselves over unto lasciviousness.
So now that the Most High is not what I care about, it's not what I want in my life, He doesn't make me happy. Now I'm on a pursuit of lasciviousness. What does it mean, lasciviousness? What does that mean?
Extreme desire.
Extreme desire. What else?
Unlawful lust.
Lustfulness for anything that you want.
Let's get the definition.
Lasciviousness, 1828, Webster's Dictionary. It says, looseness, irregular, indulgence of animal desires.
It says they become animalistic in their what?
Desires.
So their impulses change. Their behavior changes. When I want something that I want so bad, it alters my behavior. He said, I become like an animal.
So my behavior is based off that desire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like an animal.
It's an animal. I become an animal. I want what I want so bad. And I'm not going to let nobody get in the way. Is this true about Cain? Hold this and let's go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 8.
Because we always talk about the spirit of Cain all the time.
Yep.
We brought out, and maybe in conversation or in passing, that's the spirit of Cain. But now we're getting detail for detail Cain's mentality.
Yep.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
It said they was having a conversation. Did it tell you what kind of conversation they was having? But remember what happens when the mind is not on the Most High, and you don't get what you want. You become angry. What happens when you become angry? You become an oppressor. You become controlling. Because it's based upon lasciviousness. It's based upon what you want. Read on.
And Cain talked with his brother, with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
So how did a conversation go to a murder? How did a conversation go to murder? What kind of conversation is this? What kind of conversation is this?
It's like a first 48 conversation, bro.
Yeah. What kind of conversation is this? Remember, though, what happens to a person's behavior when they don't get what they want and other people are thriving around them? They start to take it out on who? The people around them. The people around them get affected. When you got a strong desire that's irregular and the Lord puts a stop on it and you get mad, you get angry, you become extreme, now you become vengeful, you become controlling, you become an oppressor. Now you're trying to remove those people around you that make you look bad because you've grown insecure. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna pour a definition on the in the Blue Letter Bible. It talks about when it says he talked to Abel, it says he boasted or acted proudly. So that's what the conversation is about.
Is it based on what? Who does? It was based on who does what better.
Because he felt insecure.
Yeah.
That's what insecure people do.
Yeah.
Don't think this little blessing is gonna make you better than me.
Oh, you ain't here. Listen. I do this better than you. This
I've
better
been
than
on
you.
this.
Like nobody said. Nobody's even inviting this conversation. Why are you? It's called projecting.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're sitting here bringing a conversation that no one else brought up. Yeah. You think you look better than me? You think you got more money than me? Nobody said that, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're better than me?
You think you more fly?
You think you're fly than me? You think you're better than me? You think that you deserve you should have more than I should have? Who said that? Why are you bringing this conversation
Oh,
up?
you think you smart?
Oh, you think you're real smart? You think you're slick? Who said that? No one said that, but that's your insecurity talking for you in the form of what? Pride.
I was gonna say too, just on your point too. We just went over how that understanding is darkened. That darkened makes you ignorant.
Yeah.
So what you're saying doesn't make any sense at all, and you're confusing others. But really, you confused because of your pride and your insecurity.
Oh no, you're the confused one.
Yeah.
You're the hater. Yeah. You're jealous of me. You're mad at me. You want to kill me. Nobody said that.
Huh? You've been watching me all this whole
You've been
time.
watching me. You try to block my blessing.
But it's actually the other way around.
And that's a sick mind.
That's why it says in 1 Timothy, withdraw yourself
Get away from this person.
from
bro.
somebody that has a corrupt mind whose intention is only about acquisition.
Because you always said in the past, breaking down the term devil meaning false accuser, or devil meaning, false accuser.
Yep.
They start falsely accusing other people.
Yep.
I'm accusing you of being negative. I'm accusing you of being a backstabber. I'm accusing you of being jealous.
It says, for many are deceived by their own what?
Vain opinions.
Vain opinions deceive people. It makes people's thoughts irregular and their behavior irregular and their treatment towards other people right next to them irregular. I start to act out all the things that I hate about my condition not being blessed. I start to act it out on the people around me because I don't like the fact that the Lord is not receiving me. He's not accepting me. He's not accepting me because He's not priority in my life. So why don't I fix that first? Why be so mad at the people around me that's doing better than me? Why not fix the fact that I don't put the Most High first in my mind? How about I rechannel my focus? How about I do that first? They can't do that. Read on.
Verse 9.
Verse 8.
Verse 8 from the top. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is that brother? Where is Abel thy brother?
Go ahead.
And he said, I know not.
He said what?
I know
I'm
not.
lying now.
That's a lie.
It's more spirits coming with that spirit.
Yeah.
You already have. It all came from what you said earlier, that inordinate affection. Now it's pride, vanity, delusion, hate, being having strife and debate and conflict.
Pride debates.
Pride debates.
Arguments.
Now it goes from that, it graduates to want to be a manslayer or a woman slayer, to now I'm trying to lie. I'm becoming a devil behind my inordinate affection.
It shows you also that highly opinionated people are oppressors.
That makes sense.
It shows you that highly opinionated people are oppressors. Because they only agree with what?
Themselves.
Their own thoughts. They only go off their own thoughts. They only agree with their own thoughts. So when you got people that oppress, when you look at the nature of people that oppress other people,
Yeah.
it's based upon their opinion of themselves. And their inability to look at the people next to them the right way. It's all based on opinion. We're going to keep going though. Read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Go ahead.
And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Man, you oppressed them, you killed them, and then you put them in the dirt. You oppress people and you cover it up. You oppress people and you try to hide it. And you try to cover it up. You cover up the fact that you oppressed them and killed them. That's what opinionated people do. They oppress other people, and then they hide it and say, "I don't know. I don't know. That wasn't what I meant. That wasn't what I was doing."
They kill people's spirits. They tear people down.
Crush people
and say, "It's them. It's not me. Look at them. They're the."
It wasn't my fault. I wasn't responsible for that. That's why I said. That's why the Most High said, "May your brother's blood crying from the ground." It's obvious what you did. But I can't accept being wrong. Wasn't my fault. I can't accept blame. And I can't accept correction. So let's go to Matthew. Let's go to hold on, before we get there, one more point. No, we'll get it later. Matthew chapter 6, we're now at verse 21.
Let's pay 675.
We started on Matthew 6 and 19. Yeah, we're now on verse 21.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. He said, For where your treasure is,
It said, what's valuable to you? Read on.
There will your heart be also.
Your mind will be attached to the things that you find valuable.
That's all I think about.
It will occupy your mind.
Come.
Read.
The light of the body is the eye.
He says, the light of the body is the what?
Eye.
He says, the light of the body is the eye. Read.
If therefore thine eye be single,
Go ahead.
the whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness.
Let's get some understanding on what Christ is saying, because it's very important that we understand what Christ is saying right here. It's very important that we understand what Christ is saying. Let's read it again at verse 22.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye.
He says, the light of the body is the eye. I mean, one favor. I want you to read this about this commentary on what Philo says the object of the eye is. Read this for me right here. Moses used the expression.
Come. Moses used the expression eyes in a figurative sense for the vision of the soul.
He says eyes he considers is the what?
The vision of the soul.
It's the vision of the soul. Some people say the eyes are the windows of the what?
To the soul.
To the soul. So can we agree with that?
Come.
He said the eyes is the vision of the soul. Right? Read on.
By which alone the perception of good and
It
evil.
says from the eyes comes what?
The perception of good and evil.
From your eyes is how you perceive or comprehend good and what?
And evil.
Good and evil. Good and evil is perceived from the eyes. That's what first gives you knowledge of something that may look good or may not look good. Something that's good for you versus something that's not good for you. It's constituted based upon the eyes. Read on. And he's going to explain that. Read on.
Of what is elegance.
It says from the eyes, you can see what?
What is elegance?
You can see elegance with the eyes. You can perceive elegance or what's appropriate or what else?
Or unsightly.
Or something that's ugly. The eyes introduce those things to you. What's beautiful and what's ugly is both perceived by the eyes. He says the windows of the soul, right? Stop right there. Hold that. So let's go back to Matthew and let's read verse 22 one more time.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single.
It says, if the eye be single, then if the eye be whole, unbroken, if the eye be in good sound condition, it said the whole body is what?
Thy whole body shall be full of light.
Read on.
But if thine eye be evil.
It said, but if your perception turns evil, read on.
Thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
Now, what dictates my perception? It's the eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember he said what's attractive or elegant or what's unsightly, what's ugly. Go to Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Come. That's me, sir.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I texted you.
Come. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20 reads.
I haven't found the page yet. My bad.
Let me know when you're ready.
Isaiah 5 and 20. That's page 492. Page 492.
Ready?
Yep.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20 reads, woe unto them that call evil good.
Stop. If your eyes saw evil, why would you call evil good?
What you like?
Say it again.
It's based on your perception.
It's based on my what?
Perception. Because they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right. So he says, read it again.
Woe unto them
Woe means destruction. Destruction unto them that what?
that call evil good.
How can I look at evil
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at evil and I can look at the evil and say, man, that looks good. How can I do
I
that?
like that.
It's a twisted perception.
You're purposely trying to mislead others.
Or you're evil.
It's another way of trying to control people, manipulate people. You're trying to mislead them and misdirect them.
I'm watching evil.
Yes.
And I'm watching evil, but I look at evil and I say, man, that's good. Who in their right mind would do that? Nobody in their right mind. Read on.
Come. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
And how can I look at something that's good, but I call good evil? If the eyes is the windows to the soul, and from the eyes come perception of good and evil, comprehension of good and evil, then what's making me call evil good and what's making me call good evil?
Ignorance.
Yeah.
Or
Darkening the understanding.
We said it earlier.
or you're just negative.
No pressure.
It's based on what?
Perception.
Nope.
No.
Say it again. Yes. Because it's based on my opinion. You could tell me that that's evil, and I could know it's evil, but my opinion says that it's what?
It's good.
My opinion says that evil is good.
And Christ said the same thing. Because Christ said, he gave everybody a reward, and then people are still mad at him. He said, "Haste thou me because I am good?"
Yeah. Yeah, but where does it come from? It comes from the opinion.
God.
The opinion of people is what would distort good and evil. You could say, hey, man, that wasn't good. That wasn't good to talk to this person this way. I could say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was only a 1. It wasn't that bad.
You minimize it. You minimize the effect of it.
What minimizes the effect of evil?
My opinion.
Your pride.
Your opinion does. Your opinion is behind your perception.
It's not that serious.
It's not that bad. What the hell would make you say evil is not that bad? Who in their right mind would say something like that? Not nobody in their right mind, but somebody in their opinion will say that. Yes, sir.
Thus, isn't this the fact that they're doing God their way, their opinion,
Yes.
and start doing God their way instead of doing it His way?
They form an idea, and they determine what good and evil is.
Mm-hmm.
They could look at you. You could tell a person, "Hey, man, that wasn't right," and they say it wasn't that bad. Yeah. Or they'll come back and say, "What? That's your what?
Opinion.
That's your opinion. That's what you think." Who are you dealing with that will call good evil and evil good? You're dealing with an opinionated person. Only an opinionated person would distort good and evil. Only somebody operating in their arrogance would distort good and evil.
In my opinion, it's not that bad, bro.
In my opinion, it wasn't what I said. They shouldn't have took it that way. It shouldn't have hurt you so bad.
You shouldn't have reacted like
Why
that.
you acting like a baby?
Yeah.
Why you so soft? Why you acting like a punk? Why you crying? Because in my opinion, what I did and what I said wasn't so bad.
So you're saying that, because they said that you're supposed to have a moral compass, or you're supposed to be anchored or have a foundation of the scriptures.
Well,
is it safe to say that a highly opinionated person obviously doesn't have the scriptures as their anchor? Their opinions their anchor.
Bingo. Everything is controlled by that person's opinion. They distort good and evil. And they manipulate good and evil based upon their what? Their pride. Based on their opinion. Only an opinionated person would try to twist what good and evil is.
Like a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Because it is like surprise, because it always ends up making them look better.
Yeah, it is.
They're always the good guy.
Become the winner in the conversation, or the one that gets the most advantage.
Oh, I'm just in it?
Right.
Yes, sir.
And that opinion, based off what Dr. Howard was saying too, that opinion, when you hold on to that too long, what happens is that destroys the opportunity for you to even acknowledge that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That right there makes you not want to acknowledge that you're wrong.
Let's find out if that's true. Ecclesiastes chapter 32, verse 17. I like what you said, Karai. Let's find out what you said. If what you said is true. Ecclesiastes chapter 32, verse 17.
Ecclesiastes 32 and 17.
Page 90.
Ready?
90 in the red book.
Yeah, that's two. There's Ecclesiastes and Ecclesiasticus. Yeah, it's different pronunciation.
All right, we're in 32 and 17. Read that. Let's find out what you said, Karai, is true. Somebody don't want to acknowledge that they've done wrong.
A sinful man.
It says what?
Oh, man.
A sinful man.
Or we can say an opinionated man. Read on.
Will not be reproved.
You can't correct the what?
A sinful man.
Why? Because I was able to equate my own sin. And according to me, and according to my opinion, my sin wasn't that bad. So I shouldn't have to apologize. Or I shouldn't have to make any changes. Or you're taking this and you're seeing this all wrong.
I'm not at fault.
I'm not at fault. So can you ever correct an opinionated person?
The answer is no.
Because judgment is always based upon whose discretion? Their own discretion. They dictate what good and evil is.
Yep.
They determine what positive and negative is. So you can't correct a person that will fail to look at himself as or his actions as being wrong. You can never correct that individual because they're operating out of an opinion. They have an opinion, a highly opinionated mind frame, or an arrogant thought process. Therefore, good luck with correction. You can't get them to see it because they're going to equate and they're going to change the knob. They're going to control the temperature of good and evil. That was really a 3. That wasn't an 8. You're blowing it out of proportion. You're being extreme. You tripping. I don't know why you yelling. It's not that bad. Because to me, it wasn't. It was. I talked to everybody like this.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, or it could have been worse. So to me, I dictate that knob. So when somebody is opinionated, you can't do what with this individual? Read it again.
A sinful man will not be reproved,
Read on.
but findeth an excuse.
It says they'll always find a what?
An excuse
According to what?
according to his will.
So according to what?
His will.
His will is his what?
Opinion.
It's his opinion.
What he thinks.
What's wrong with our people when they don't get what they want?
Too opinionated.
They become opinionated oppressors. They become highly opinionated oppressors who can't take a check, who can't take correction, because according to them, they only see good and evil based upon their own perception and their own will. Good luck trying to correct them. He said he will find an excuse according to what?
His will.
His own will, right? No different than if you're dealing with somebody that is having trouble with motivation. Go to Proverbs chapter 26, verse 16. Same thing if you're dealing with a person that's opinionated, but they're unmotivated.
26.
Proverbs 26 and 16.
Yep.
477. 476.
Read.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 16.
Everybody got it?
Yes, God.
Read.
The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit.
Definition of sluggard. A person habitually lazy, idle, or inactive. An unmotivated person. He says, a person habitually lazy, idle, or inactive. So if you got a lazy person that's highly opinionated, what are they going to do when you try to motivate them? Are they going to be receptive to motivation?
No.
Are they going to be inviting to motivation? Will they invite encouragement? Let's find out. Read that.
Proverbs 26 and 16. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit.
Stop. Why won't he do what's necessary to become motivated and change his situation?
The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit
Read on.
than 7 men that can render a reason.
It says a sluggard will have his opinion, and his opinion is more valid than 7 men telling him what's right. You could have 7 men showing him, hey man, this is how you get healthy. This is how you change your habits. This is how you change your diet. This is how you change your eating. This is how you overcome the health issue. Or if you're lacking motivation, this is what we do that gets us motivated every day. If you're uninspired in life, try these tactics and try these methods. And these methods that we do, these 7 men, these methods that we do every day keep us going. They keep us inspired. They keep us driving. They keep us reaching goals, attaining goals, spiritually. You could have 7 men telling this person what's right, but they still trust what? They trust their own opinion. Nah, man, that ain't gonna work. I just need some sleep.
That's the solution.
That's a solution. I just need, my body's telling me to get some rest. My body's talking to me.
Yeah. You don't understand.
You know, I'm dealing with this pain. I'm sore. My body's telling me to get off of it. I got knee pain. I went to physical therapy. People tell you get off your knee. You got knee pain, you need to lay off your knee. That's advice that you want to hear.
Yep.
I need to lay up. Oh man, I can't make it, man. I gotta lay up. I can't make it. I can't go in today. I'm finna lay up because I got this ache in my knee, so I'm gonna lay up today.
Doctor's orders.
The doctor told me to stay home. Well, the doctor will send you to a therapist. The therapist is a physical therapist. The physical therapist will not tell you to lay up.
No.
No.
The physical therapist will tell you, grab that medicine ball, and we're going to start on the bicycle, and we're going to warm the knee up. Now I want you to do these squats with these dumbbells, with these kettlebells. Now I want you to use these elastic bands, and I want you to do these motions and exercise with these motions. Now I want you to get up on this squat rack, and I want you to do squats with no weights on.
It's like doctor's orders. That's against doctor's orders.
Yeah, but is it doctor's orders or the doctor sent you to the therapist?
Yeah.
Because what the way we want it is, we want that little slip, that little doctor slip, to get out of everything.
Yeah.
I want the slip and the note. Doc, hey doc, they want me back at work tomorrow. I forget. Can I get a note? What you want the note for? You want the note so you can lay up? Because in your mind, you want to hear what you can. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, when you go to therapy, all the therapist is going to do is force you to move. He's going to force you to bend, and he's going to force you to exercise it. He's going to force you to use it, and he's going to tell you that the only way to fix it is you got to get more blood flow to it. You need more blood flow. Circulation brings new fresh cells to the wound, to the injury, so that the injury can repair itself. You need fresh new blood cells to that area. Well, how do you get new blood cells to that area?
Activity.
More activity. Opposite of what you want to do. But in our mind, we'll say, man, I need rest, man. Or is it I need rest, or I actually need to start working these areas that are weak out? But when you're dealing with somebody that's unmotivated or uninspired or habitually lazy, they're going to find every single excuse based on their opinion why they can't do something. You can tell a man to save money. And a man will say, man, I can't. I got too many bills. You can say, man, listen, bro, I think you need to put about $100 a month to the side. Oh, man, that's impossible.
They're cutting the Wayne's wing money out.
You know what it means? Yeah, Starbucks got to go.
Yep.
Because that's $3 a day.
Whatever gotta go.
That's
It's $5 a day.
That's $15.
Starbucks is $5 a day.
Really.
Starbucks
$5.50.
$7. No, it's $7.
You get the donut. You get the donut too.
It's $7 for a drink.
There's no more hibachi.
You know the deceit. The deceit is, I'm going to use my points.
Yeah.
That's the deceit.
I got points.
Well, how do you get points at Starbucks?
Spending more
You got to spend more money. That's the only way to get more points. Because you got to wait till it's 3 stars for one purchase for every $1.
Yeah.
You can't go when it's a star per $1.
No.
You know, it don't stack up. You go when it's 3 stars for every $1 you spend. It's bonus stars.
6 trips, the 7th is free.
Yeah, you get bonus stars on this day. If I spend 20, I get 100 extra stars. But I gotta spend 20. So the lie that you tell yourself is I gotta spend more in order to save more. Of course, you're gonna believe that. Yes, sir.
What if you go to Chick-fil-A and you order and then they give you the receipt and then they say if you fill out
You get a free sandwich.
you get the free sandwich.
But you never get a sandwich. You get fries next time too.
You spent $18 for lunch just to get a free sandwich on the next time around.
You gotta spend a certain amount.
How about you bought that sandwich a long time ago?
Man, you paid for that sandwich. The tax on 18 was another sandwich.
Yeah.
The inflation was
But yeah, the inflation was another sandwich. But you know, it's the same thing when you tell people to save money. If you're gonna battle somebody's opinion, it don't matter what you tell them. They're not gonna receive instruction. They're not gonna receive what you got to offer. They're not gonna take heed to good advice, sound advice. They're not gonna be corrected. They're not going to become motivated. They're not going to make no adjustments. The number one battle when you're dealing with people is opinions. You're dealing with, we fight opinions all day. We got to fight people's opinions to make them do things that they don't feel is good in their eyes. Because in their eyes, it's not good. In their eyes, that's too much. In their eyes, they say, I can't. They say impossible. All day, what we're fighting is thoughts and opinions. That's the number one battle that you're going to find out with everybody is it's going to be a struggle when you're fighting a man's opinion or a woman's opinion. It's going to be a struggle. Everything's going to be a struggle.
And then when you finally have a strong point, they minimize it.
Yep.
Got a redheaded eye. Catch a redheaded. You didn't see me. You didn't see it. How you know? Can you prove it?
Yep.
Prove it.
Yep.
Prove it.
Hold fast.
That's what you think. That's your opinion.
That's your opinion, man.
Classic.
That's a classic rebuttal. That's your opinion. That's what you think.
That's the person that wants you to catch them on tape or catch them on recording.
Yeah, I catch them like R. Kelly.
Yeah, catch them.
I still wouldn't believe it. Even if tape, wouldn't believe it.
That wasn't me.
That
wasn't me.
It got to turn into
Photoshop that, brother.
Yeah. Now read this right here. He says, therefore, he says, talking about the eyes, right?
Yeah, on top of it.
Yes, from the top.
All right. Moses used the expression eyes in a figurative sense for the vision of the soul, by which alone the perception of good and evil, of what is elegant or unsightly.
It says, so we know from the eyes come, what's good, what's evil, what's elegant, and what's unsightly, what's unattractive.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, bro.
What'd you do?
You do that. It's just you gotta fix this.
Oh, it's just a.
Yeah, it's just unless you broke it. No, even it's right there.
It's all right.
That's right.
There it is.
I'm not that
It's all
bad.
right. It's all right. It wasn't Daria's fault. That was a 1. The blackout was a 1. It was only a 1. Read that right there again.
Moses used the expression eyes in a figurative sense for the vision of the soul, by which alone the perception of good and evil, of what is elegant or unsightly, and in fact of all contrary natures arise.
He says, in fact, all contrary natures arise from the eyes, right? Read.
But if the eye is to be taken separately as counsel,
It says the eye also can be looked at as what?
counsel.
Counsel. How do we know it's true? Go to Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14.
Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 14.
467.
Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 14.
Wow.
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
So what it said, if the eyes if Philo was saying the eyes can also be related as counsel, can a type of eyes can be counsel. So is it safe to say that if I don't have other eyes on my situations, when I don't have enough eyes on my situation, what happens? What happens?
People perish.
The people fall.
People fall. Read on.
But in the multitude of counselors,
But if I got a multitude of eyes on my situation in my life, and I got a multitude of people looking at me and examining me and checking my thought process, he said in the multitude of counselors, there's what?
there is safety.
So the more eyes that I have looking at my thoughts, there is what?
Safety.
So the fewer eyes that I got looking at my thoughts, what happens? Danger. It's failure. So is Philo wrong when he says eyes are equivalent, a type of eyes is equivalent to counsel? So when you get counsel, when you counsel with somebody about your thoughts, guess what you're doing when you bring counsels to people around you, when you counsel with people around you? You're putting more eyes on your situation. So you're going against what?
Counsel.
Your opinion. You're going against your opinion. So you're putting more eyes on the situation. The more eyes that you have on your thoughts, the better. But an opinionated person will reject eyes on my situation. I'll reject people from looking at me and looking at my scenario or analyzing my scenario or checking my thoughts.
I don't need your opinion.
I don't need your opinion. I don't need your perspective. I have my own perspective.
That's a fool.
He said that person's waiting to fail. Read on.
It says, it says, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
It said there's safety when you got a multitude of eyes on you. When you run through what your plans are, what your thoughts are, your opinion, and you run your decisions by somebody else, there's safety in that. But when you're only operating off your opinion, you're only preparing yourself for a fall. That's why he said this. There's two types of eyes. He said one could be reference.
Perception.
Perception as counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But the eyes to be taken separately as
it says,
counsel.
but the eyes can be distinct. When the Bible talks about eyes, it can be counsel or it could be what?
Perception, reality.
Go ahead.
But the eyes to be taken separately as counsel, which is called the warning of understanding.
It says it's the warning of understanding. Having people look at your thoughts, they're able to warn you from mistakes.
And give you understanding.
That's
crazy, bro.
This is the beauty of not trusting your opinion. What else?
Then again, there's a separate eye.
He said, then again, there's another type of eye that people use. Go ahead.
Which is a certain something devoid of sound reason.
It says this other eyes that you use, that people use, is completely absent of what?
Sound reason.
It says there's no soundness in their logic. Their logic is completely unproven. And what's a person who walks through life with an unproven logic called?
Which is called opinion.
No. He just said it right there. He said, which is called what?
Opinion.
It's called an opinion. And once again,
oh wow, okay.
Once again, I know it took a minute to catch, but once again, a person that walks through life with an unproven reason. We read it earlier about people that walk in the vanity of their mind. People that walk through life with an unproven reason. It's baseless. He says they use what their eyes are is their what?
Opinion.
Is their opinion. Their opinion is what they use for eyes.
I see everything through the lens of my opinion.
Yes.
Versus I see everything through the lens of my counselors in the scriptures.
Yes.
There's a difference. The lens is your eye.
My own lens.
Yeah. To me, it's not that serious.
So good and evil is distinguished by what? My opinion. Proper and improper behavior is distinguished upon my what? Right and wrong is distinguished upon my what? So what is the metrics or the meter that I'm using, the instrument of measurement that I'm using for everything in my life?
My opinion.
It's my opinion.
Yeah. You know a term for that too? This is a worldly term for it. They call it moral flexibility. They call it moral flexibility.
Okay.
You know, it's not about right or wrong. It's about just the flexibility of, I'm being flexible. It's what I think it is. It's still the opinion.
It's still opinion. It's still opinion.
And then there's some people that said that. Some people say, and this is devil doctrines. People say that they're beyond good and evil. I'm past that. That's when you start getting the philosophy of people that go into heavy Satanism.
Or it's gray area.
Yeah, I'm past good and evil. I'm above that.
Morals are based upon good and evil. That's what defines a person's character. Whether a person has morals or not in their character is based upon them making good or bad decisions and being able to distinguish between good and bad. That's what determines a person's character. That's what makes up their morals. Their morals defines their character. So if I say that I'm beyond good and evil, then what can prove my character then?
Your opinion.
So now my opinion only proves my character. How I think about myself, how my ego is inflated,
yeah,
or my arrogance defines my character.
Yeah.
Now, I only believe myself to be how I look at myself.
I'm the standard.
I am the standard.
Yeah.
If I take what Dawiyad's saying and put it in perspective in comparison to what we're reading, if I take away morals, then the morals are based upon my perspective and how I see things in life. But the problem is, we have a lot of people that live life that are only living life based on their opinions. They only see things through their own lens, and they qualify good and bad behavior and speech based upon how they look at things. That is a dangerous mind frame. That is a Cain mind frame. That is the mind of Cain. This is the mind frame that the Most High was warning Cain about. If you don't follow my instructions and do what it takes to be blessed, you're only going to go off your opinion. And you're going to treat people the way that they make you feel, based on how they make you feel. And because this man made you insecure, because Abel's good deeds made you insecure, you're going to take out the fact that you're not being blessed on your brother.
But you can't say that they're hurting me. They hurt me. How are they hurting you? They're making you feel insecure.
Yeah.
That's the hurt.
Well, man. So, finish this right here. It says,
After opinion?
Yeah, it says, therefore, opinion.
Okay. Therefore, opinion was like the beginning of wickedness.
What did he say?
Therefore, opinion was like the beginning of wickedness.
So Philo said opinion is similar to the beginning of what?
Wickedness.
Man, they said all wickedness started from what?
An opinion.
From opinions, man. It's what you tell yourself versus what the Most High told you. All wickedness stems from a person's opinion.
That makes more sense.
So when you're dealing with misbehavior, when you're dealing with lust, when you're dealing with indecent actions, rude behavior, rude speech, improper behavior, all you're dealing with is people's what?
Opinions.
All you're dealing with is opinions, man.
Or this the other white meat.
Other white meat.
Or love is love.
Love is love. You know?
It's all kinds of opinions.
God is love.
Yeah.
God wanted this for me in my life.
Yeah. If I wasn't meant to have this, do you believe it's impossible for us to have happiness together?
Yep.
Well, listen. That doesn't mean that was meant to be according to the Most High. You might not have meant to be in that situation according to the Most High. But in your opinion, you're right.
Yeah.
You're never wrong. I never hear people's opinions say I'm wrong. You know I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know I'm out of order, right?
No, they don't do that. What are we battling in life? Opinions, man. We go to war with people's opinions all the time. And the opinion is based upon perception. And the Most High and Christ is trying to salvage us and save us from mistakes that we don't even see that our pride is going to get us into. We don't even see it coming. He said opinion was like the what?
Therefore, opinion was like the beginning of wickedness.
It says, but they themselves. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, I ain't got that.
No, just read this right here. But this, but because. Right here, but because.
Okay. It says, but because their mind now conceived a novelty, and novelty.
It says the mind, when a person is opinionated, it says the mind does what?
Conceived a novelty.
What's the definition of novelty? Definition of novelty.
That's an important word right there.
Oh, didn't know that. Newness.
He says,
I need that. I need that.
Newness, recentness of origin or introduction. That's hilarious.
Something new.
Something new?
That's all I got. Unless you want to know.
Invention.
They said what?
An invention.
It's an invention.
Device.
It's a device. It's an imagination. He said what he's saying is, he's saying, read that part right there.
But because their mind now conceived a novelty Unlike the rest of the universal world.
He said what our mind does is our mind starts, when we go off our opinions, he says our minds conceive a novelty. Our mind always comes up with a new reason to do what we want.
Unlimited.
It's unlimited.
Right.
Our mind always comes up with unlimited reasons.
More than 7 watchmen.
More than 7 watchmen that can render a reason. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna, because an opinion is limitless. You set your own range of yourself.
Exactly.
Like you set your own limitations and freedoms.
Restraints. Restraints or abilities.
Yeah.
You tell yourself what you can and cannot do. You tell yourself what's just and unjust.
I set my own limitations.
You set your own limitations. You tell yourself what you think is not that bad, what's ugly, or what's pretty, or what's proper or improper. You have your own scale. You judge everything based on your own scale. That's why Christ said in St. John chapter 5, verse 30, he said what?
St. Judges?
St. John.
St. John. 5 and 30. That's page 747. 747. New Testament.
St. John 5 and verse 30. I can of my own self do nothing.
That's
As
crazy.
I hear, I judge.
What did Christ say?
As I hear, I judge.
Read it from the top.
God. St. John chapter 5 and verse 30. I can of my own self do nothing.
What did Christ say out of his own mouth?
You don't have an opinion.
Christ said, I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
What did Christ do away with while he walked the earth?
His own opinion.
He did away with his own opinion. Christ didn't have an opinion. Yes, sir.
That when they say he didn't have a reputation, that reputation means opinion also. When you look at the meaning of reputation.
Yeah, Hebrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means opinion.
Yeah. So Christ did away with his what?
Opinion.
Christ, the whole time Christ was on earth, he didn't have an opinion. He didn't walk around telling people what he thought was right or wrong. It wasn't based upon his own perception and his own feelings. That's why when you counsel with somebody and they say, I feel, the first words out their mouth is, I feel. What the hell are they using? They're using their own opinion. The minute, well, I feel like, oh, okay, well, let's see how you feel then. Go ahead.
I didn't know Yahweh didn't have any opinion, but
Yahweh Shah didn't have an opinion. Yeah.
Yahweh Shah. But isn't opinion driven by education?
It is.
By wisdom?
It is.
No.
No, it is.
Which wisdom?
Opinion is driven upon a learned behavior. Remember what knowledge is information gained through study, is the definition of knowledge. So what you accumulate is your knowledge is based upon what you study.
Right, right.
But if I watch cartoons all day, well, what will be the basis of my knowledge?
Right, right,
I'll compare everything based upon what? A cartoon.
right.
If I watch anime all day, I will base life upon what? An anime series.
Right. So wasn't he based?
If I watch sports all day, I'll judge everything using a rubrics or an instrument of measure of sports. Life is like when you're in 4th down.
Yeah.
And you got 4th and 2.
We had a brother like that back in the day.
Yeah, we did. Actually.
Everything was sports out.
Yeah.
He said, I'm right here. I got to get to the next down. I got to get to the next quarter. And we'll be all right.
I'm taking this a yard at a time.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's a game of inches.
Yeah.
I'm in the 4th quarter, man. I got to get this money. I'm in the 4th quarter. What the hell are you talking about?
Whoa.
You got to get this money. You in the 4th quarter. It's 4th quarter. 2 minutes left. What's that got to do with your job? But what is the basis of this person's knowledge? It's the basis of his opinion is formed off his knowledge and what he fed himself with. So you're correct. But we're gonna get more on that aspect. I like the question. But read that again.
St. John chapter 5 verse 30. I can of my own self do nothing.
So did Christ walk around with an opinion? Philo said that opinion is like the beginning of wickedness. Christ said, I don't even have an opinion. I don't make up what I want to do. I don't go where I want to go. I don't say the things I want to say. I don't behave like I want to. Read on.
God, as I hear,
He
I
says,
judge.
he said, I don't even form a judgment until I listen to a person first. Before I even come to a conclusion and sum up what somebody is saying, I'll listen to them first. Let me hear them out before I say this person is full of crap. Because that's how we think when people be talking to us. Man, this person full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe a word they say out their mouth. Always lying. I might be talking, man.
Yeah.
I might be talking while other people talking.
Yeah.
We just don't say it. Our lips be moving though.
Yeah.
Full of shit. Our face say it.
Yeah.
Our lips make up. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. You know when you ain't trying to listen to nobody? Oh, okay. I'm trying to pretend like I hear you. Okay. But yeah, I'm doing all these things, looking at the clock. I'm not. Yeah. But Christ didn't do that. Christ said, I don't have an opinion. I don't form opinion about anything. He says, as I hear, I what?
I judge.
Read on.
And my judgment is just.
And it says, the way I do things is just. Why did Christ say his judgment, his opinion, that what he thinks is just, it's fair, it's equitable? Why does he say he knows how to talk to people or treat people? He said, or look at the situation. Why did he say his judgment is just? Read on.
Because I seek not my own will.
Stop. He said, because I don't live life trying to fulfill my what?
Own will.
He said, I don't live life trying to fulfill my own will. I don't have a will. I don't have a desire. I don't have a want. I don't have a lust. So what is Christ saying? The key to life is eliminating your opinion.
Wow.
Whatever you think is right, throw it in the trash. Whatever you think your issue of good and bad, your definition of good and bad, start over. Open the Bible to determine now from this point forward what good and bad is in your life. What's proper and improper? Throw it in the trash and go off the scriptures. Find out what's proper according to the Bible. The key what Christ is saying to life is to get rid of your opinion. We just read that Philo said opinion is the beginning of wickedness. It dictates, it judges good and bad. It determines elegance and unsightliness or unattractiveness. All of us have, by nature, our own opinions, our own thoughts. But they're corrupted and they've been compromised. And what Christ is doing in Matthew chapter 6 is Christ is trying to warn us to not be like Cain. Cain's perspective, his opinion, became corrupted and was compromised, and therefore committed murder. Read on.
Because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father.
He said, because I don't have a will. I don't have a desire. I don't have a want. I do everything my what?
But by the will of the Father.
He says, I do everything my Father tells me. So what's the key to surviving and making the right decisions in life?
Follow the will of the Father.
Say it again. Follow the will of the Father. What you got, Karai?
Getting rid of your own opinion.
Getting rid of your own opinion. Let's go here real quick. 2 Ezra chapter 14 verse 34. Let's see if we can find this in the Bible. 2 Ezra chapter 14 verse 34. We're in the red book.
32.
And we're on page 32.
Second Ezra chapter 14 verse 32.
It's page 32?
34.
It is me, okay. Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 32.
Yeah, verse 34.
Verse 34, page 32. Therefore, if so be that you will subdue your own understanding.
What does that mean? What does the Bible say?
If you will subdue your own understanding.
What is the best advice that we can do in following after the footsteps of Christ?
Subdue.
our own understanding.
What does
Somebody
it
else's
mean?
understanding.
What does it mean to subdue?
What
does that mean?
Bring under control.
To tame.
Read the definition.
Good.
There's a few of them. To tame.
It says you got to tame what?
Oh wow.
What do you have to learn how to tame? Tame is like you tame an animal. Like you're training and controlling an animal.
That's crazy.
Your own mind.
It says you have to learn how to tame what?
Your own understanding.
What else you got for subdue?
Subdue. It means to conquer by force or the exertion of superior power.
So all of the desires that you have, there's only one way that you're going to conquer your desires.
Wow.
There's only one way you can conquer all your emotions and your passions and your feelings and your lust and your wants and the things that you want to come to pass. The things that you want to achieve and pursue in life that you think will bring you joy. A lot of people live a lie, and there's nothing that can get them off that course of the lie that they're living, because in their mind, it's what I need to find success and happiness. You're trying to knock me off my tracks of happiness. I do what I need to survive. I got to do what I need to do to be able to look at myself in the mirror every day and not feel like a failure. Who told you was a failure? Isn't that what the Most High told Adam and Eve? Who told you was naked? Where did it come from? It came from your opinion. It's what you told yourself. What you tell yourself is dangerous. Very dangerous. That's why the best hope that we have in altering our thoughts and not living a life of misery is to learn how to put under submission or to tame, or what else you got, Kariah?
It says, subdue, 1828. It says, to conquer by force or the exertion of superior power.
Go ahead.
And bring into permanent subjection.
It says you got to bring your thoughts into permanent subjection. How do you do that? How do you bring your thoughts into permanent subjection where now the desires of the Most High is what controls you as a person? Is what rules you as a person? Yes, sir.
You got to trust in the Most High.
Proverbs 3 and 5.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5.
And we're gonna still finish that in the second Ezra. We haven't finished that yet.
Okay.
Proverbs 3 and 5. Read that real quick.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Most High.
How do you subdue your own understanding?
Trust in the Most High.
How do you bring under control your thoughts and your opinions?
Trust in the Most High.
You got to stop trusting yourself and only you and how you look at things in life. You got to stop trusting your perspective, because your perspective more than likely is corrupted, along with the things that you think will bring you joy, along with the things that you think will bring you pleasure. It's corrupted. You got to learn how to stop trusting yourself and learning how to trust who?
Trust in the Most High.
Read.
With all thine heart.
Your heart is your mind. You got to give your mind, you got to lock your mind down and focus on what does the Most High want from me. And that is what's important to me in my life. I have to make what the Most High wants for me priority, just like Abel. Because that was an acceptable mind. That's what got Abel blessed from the beginning. Because he always put the Most High first. That's what made Christ just. Because he never had an opinion.
Oh, man.
He said, I do the will of the Father that sent me. I don't have a will. Christ subdued his will already. He had put under control and locked down his flesh and his passions. He didn't have passions raising up, spilling out, trying to get loose. He wasn't trying to get loose in the flesh. He wasn't looking for pleasure. Because you know what novelty means also? When he said that because their mind now conceived a novelty, that word novelty by definition also means the parents of pleasure.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
So was Christ looking for pleasure all the time? Or did he remove himself from looking for pleasure? Was he chasing a feeling? Was he chasing a thrill? Was he chasing satisfaction in the flesh? No. And that may sound extreme, but it must be done if you're never going to be a slave to your flesh again. You got to learn how to conquer your flesh. It's your responsibility to conquer that flesh. If you don't conquer your flesh and your impulses, you're going to be an animal to the people around you. You will become indecent to the people around you with improper speech and behavior. So you got to learn how to throw away what you feel, what you think you know, and what you think you understand, and learn how to trust the Most High. Read.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not.
And do what?
And lean not.
What does it mean, lean not?
To depend on.
To rely on, to depend on. What?
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
What do you call it when somebody leans towards their own understanding? They're highly opinionated. Yes, sir.
And also lean too, that is a position that when you're leaning on something, you're getting comfortable. That means you're getting comfortable in your own opinion too.
Or supported by.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm supported by what? My own opinion, my own understanding. You know how hard it is to tell a person that they can't look at life with those eyes based upon how they feel? You know how hard people don't even know how to begin not looking at life through their own eyes. People don't even know how to begin doing that. People don't know how to begin to say, let me scrap the way I look at life and my goals in life. Let me scrap those goals. Let me throw that away real quick. Let me start over. People have a problem, especially if they've built themselves up and their opinion is attached to their pride. Their opinion is attached to their confidence.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to throw away your confidence if your opinion is attached to it? It's very difficult. Because that's like stripping somebody naked. I don't know who I am anymore. Because I've carried myself a certain way and I thought I was this kind of person. And to say, nah, that person is really not that fair. That person is really not that pleasant. You're really not a good person like you think you are. Damn, you know how hard it is for somebody to have to start over? It's like taking a rug and pulling it from under their feet. Our people don't want to hear that. Man, I'm 30-some years old. I'm 40-some years old. I'm 20-some years old. I got to start over? Yeah. You do. That's uncomfortable. That kind of speech is uncomfortable for people to swallow. When you tell people, do away with who you think you are, start over, and reframe your thoughts based upon the scriptures. Reformulate your thoughts and your feelings and emotions based upon what you read. Very difficult. But he said, lean not unto what?
Thine own understanding.
Go ahead.
In all thy ways, acknowledge him.
It said, in all thy ways do what?
Acknowledge him.
So, how do we do that? What's the best way to go about this? What's the best way to go about it?
Counseling.
If counseling, if the Bible's telling me to start over and do away with my image, do away with who I think I am, do away with my judgment, do away with that negative opinion that I possess, and start fresh. What's the best way to go about it?
Reading the scripture.
Let's find out. Let's go to Josephus. This is where we're going to bring the Josephus in at. Josephus right here is the blue book. It's two suggestions that we're going to get out of the Josephus. I'll tell you, we're going to go to Against Apion, is the book that we're going to go to, and it's going to be on page around 786. It's going to be against Apion. It's going to be against Apion, book 2, chapter 17. And it's going to be line 171.
Page 804.
You said 786.
Yeah, it's on page 804.
Okay. Line 171.
Yeah, line 171.
It says for all our actions, right?
Yeah, so how do we start fresh in our walk with Christ and the Most High? By submitting our will, doing away with our will, doing away with our opinion, and starting over, and re-challenging and reframing the way we think. Let's read this. We'll take two suggestions from Josephus. Read this.
It says, for all our actions and studies and all our words in Moses' settlement have a reference to piety towards the Most High.
It says the first thing that we could do is have piety towards the Most High. Does anybody know what that means?
Respect.
Piety is what? By definition. Get the definition. It is respect, but let's get the definition. Write this down, man, because this is some instructions to starting over fresh with the Most High in Christ in life. Refashioning our thought process, renewing our minds, so we're not chasing after the wrong things in life and end up becoming like Cain. Read that.
Piety, 1828, Webster's Dictionary. Piety, in principle.
It says in principle. Go ahead.
Is a compound of veneration or reverence of the Supreme Being.
It says first thing that I learned how to do is to acknowledge the Most High as the what?
Supreme Being.
Can I acknowledge the Most High as the Supreme Being?
And love of his character.
Hold on. Let me get one thing real quick. Second line. Let's see what does David do when you venerate the Most High and you recognize the Most High as a supreme being. What are your behaviors like? Let's go to Psalms 119. Hold where you at. Hold everything where we at. Go to Psalms 119, and I want you to get verse 164. Get Psalms 119 and read verse 164.
Psalms 119 and 164. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgment.
What does David say?
7 times a day do I praise
if
thee.
you recognize the Most High as a supreme deity or the supreme being, what are some of your actions that follow you, that you perform when you recognize the Most High as the supreme being? What do?
Praise the Lord.
You praise the Most High. How many times did David say he praised the Most High?
7 times.
And what?
7 times a day.
Do we pray 7 times a day?
No.
Do we have that much piety? Do we have that much piety where we can actually or reverence or be able to recognize the Most High as supreme, to where I lay down 7 prayers a day, which we know 7 is the number of what?
Completion.
That means David prays what?
Complete number of times.
That means David prays all day. David prays all day, man. This is one way that you could start over with the Lord. Because the beginning of renewing that relationship with him is recognizing who he is. And giving him the adoration that he deserves. But sometimes we have a trouble praying 1 time a day.
That's right. Or once a week. Only when it's food.
It's food. We have food. Oh yeah.
I pray.
Hey, somebody pray with his food real quick. But Do we actually give the Most High his adoration? Because that's somebody that recognizes his deity. He said, I pray what?
7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgment.
He said, because the way you do things is right. And I recognize that. So let's go back. Let that go. And let's go back, Kariah, to what you got in piety.
Piety. Piety. It says, point number 2. It says, reverence of parents or friends accompanied with affection and devotion to their honor and happiness.
Yep. They said, now give me that the exercise.
It says, the exercise of these affections in obedience to his will.
It says, the exercise of his affection to the obedience of his will. Hold that, and let's go back. Hold that definition that you just read, and let's go back to Josephus against Apion, book 2, chapter 17, line 171.
Page 804. It says, for all our actions and studies and all our words and Moses' settlement have a reference to piety towards the Most High.
It says everything that we do, we should learn how to tailor make all of our actions that steer towards giving the Most High his reverence. I'll say it again. We should learn how to steer all of our actions to where it yields some type of reverence to the Most High. I start training my mind to where the Most High gets the glory out of everything that I do. If I'm going to start over with the Lord and do away with my opinion, I got to first stop looking at appeasing myself.
Yeah.
And I got to start changing and altering all my affections towards pleasing the Most High. And giving him, everything I do is for the purpose of giving the Most High more reverence. That's what piety is about. It's channeling everything towards the Lord. It's not about me no more.
Yeah, it's not understood. It's not an understood concept.
No, it's not.
It's not an understood concept. People hear the word, but understand the execution, like you're bringing out, of the concept, we're almost alien to it.
Man, we're alien to doing what David said he did, praying 7 times a day. We're foreign to that.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times we don't pray enough.
Right.
Or we only pray when we want something. Or we only pray when something go bad. When something go wrong. Hold that, Kariah. Finish reading that Josephus.
It says.
Hold that definition. Yeah, you got the definition and the verse, right? No, not the verse, but the Josephus.
Josephus, it says, for all our actions and studies and all our words and Moses' settlement have a reference to piety towards the Most High. For he have left none of these in suspense.
Did the Most High leave us in suspense when it comes to knowing how to get to him?
No.
Is the Lord that much of a mystery where I don't know where to find the Lord at? Did he leave me no breadcrumbs in life to be able to find him? He said the Most High didn't leave us in suspense when it comes to gaining a relationship with him. Read on.
It says, he have left none of these in suspense or undetermined.
Or it's undetermined. Where do we find the Lord? How do I find God? How do I make a relationship with him? How do I stop using my opinion? I guess I'll never know. No one's ever told me.
I'm purposely making it hard for you to get. I'm making it almost impossible to find.
Yep. He said, if any man lacks something, he said, let him ask of the Lord who giveth to all men what?
Liberty.
The Most High give it to any man that lack wisdom. The Most High said, I give it to you in abundance and as free as you want and as much as you want. He said, but just let him ask in faith. Nothing what?
Nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering. You just can't be doubting that I exist.
Yeah. He hates that.
But you're asking me for something. The Most High gives freely. He doesn't make it impossible to find him. He doesn't make it impossible for you to change the way you look at life. It's not an undetermined route. Where can I find the Lord in Christ? My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, where must he be? Read on.
It says, or undetermined, for there are two ways of coming at any sort of learning and moral conduct of life.
It says, Josephus, he said, I'm going to give you two recommendations so that you can come to learning, you can grow, and you can achieve a better moral conduct of life.
Okay.
When we was talking about what morals are, making good and bad decisions. He said there's two ways to achieve success and making the right decisions in life. What are they?
The one.
He said the one, read on.
Is by instruction in words.
He says you got to learn how to receive what?
Instruction.
In what?
In words.
You gotta become somebody who opens your mind for instruction of what?
Words.
This is one way that Josephus is saying that you can alter your whole life. You can have the greatest impact in your life and change the nature of the person that you are mentally. Simply by opening your mind to receive instruction of what?
Words.
Words. Whose words though?
The Most High's words.
The Most High's words. He said this is one way that it can increase learning and also increasing moral character. This is part of what's necessary when you start on the journey of throwing away your opinion. You still got an empty mind. If you're going to throw away your opinion, you still going to have a void. You still got to fill that void. But you got to fill that void not with TV, not with music. That's what we love. We love music. I'm going to play my favorite songs because they make me feel a certain way. So I'm going to just play my jams all day. I got my cleaning playlist. I got my workout playlist. I got my cooking playlist. I got my midnight going to sleep playlist with the oceanscapes. We go through life relying on music to get through. But when you empty out your opinion, you got to fill it with something. Especially when you're trying to retrain that arrogant mind of ours. He says, what's best to do is to teach it with the Most High's words so you can increase learning and moral character. What else?
It says, the one is by instruction in words, the other by practical exercises.
He said by what?
By practical exercises.
So what must you do? Not only just reading the Bible, but you got to start doing what with the Bible?
Practical, real life application.
You got to put the words of the Most High in practice. That means when somebody pisses you off at work, you actually have to look at the Bible and ask the Lord, how should I deal with this? Because I'm pissed off. I'm about to blow this whole place up.
Like you're born.
It's gonna all go to hell. But if I got this kind of attitude, and I got this type of anger, and I got this type of feelings boiled up, I gotta actually take the Bible. I'm angry. Let me go to the words and the scriptures that deal with anger. They actually have Bibles that are based upon emotions and feelings. They got a table of contents that says anger. And they got all the scriptures you can go in the Bible that deal with anger. Jealousy. They got all the scriptures in the Bible that deal with jealousy. Depression. They got all the scriptures in the Bible that deal with depression. They actually got commentaries, manuals that actually help you deal with your feelings and emotions. Help you deal with your thoughts. Or I'm suicidal. Then they got all the scriptures that tell you about why your life is valuable. Because Christ paid the price for it. And why that's still not a good option. I hate myself. They got all the verses that deal with low self-esteem. Somebody actually thought about it and put them in a collection already. He said, but when you start to put away and throw away your opinion, you got to start fresh and you got to start over. So you got to get the scriptures. And then every opportunity you can, you got to put the scriptures in action and put them in motion. You got to exercise the Bible.
Mm.
That was one of the names of the Sword of Truth. Not the Sword of Truth, but the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge was one of the names of how New York started. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Why do they give it that name? Because they say this is knowledge that you can actually put in practice, and it can change your life. That was original. You went to the school when it was original, right?
Yeah, it was ISBhpk.
Yeah, Israelite Church.
They changed the church
to school. Yeah, it used to be ICUBK. ICUPK. Israelite Church of Universal Practical Knowledge. Why do they name it that? Because this is knowledge that you're supposed to put in practice and exercise it. You're not. It says, "Be not readers of the word, but doers." Don't be readers only, but doers. It said that in James.
What's that practical exercise?
Yes. As much as you can, practice the word of the Most High. Read it and put it in practice, and watch it start changing and forming your thoughts. It refashions your thinking.
Wow, that's scripture right there.
That's not you don't go off your opinion anymore. You don't lean on your own thoughts anymore. What you got?
Now I was gonna say too, because when we don't do the word, that's how we deceive our own selves. Like the scripture says. We're only just hearing it. We're not practicing it. We're not exercising it. So that's another way of us deceiving our own selves.
Well, now go to Proverbs 26:12. And what luck will you have not receiving the knowledge and putting it in practice?
Proverbs 26:12. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit?
See a man that lived life on his own opinion? What does the Bible say when you look at a man that only lived life based on his own opinion?
There is more hope of a fool than of him.
It says a fool got a better chance to serve the Lord or please the Lord than what?
Than him.
So is there any luck whatsoever in life, living life just going off your own opinion?
Nah.
A fool got more luck than you do. Has a better advantage than you do. If you don't learn how to scrap your opinion. We have to learn how to scrap that opinion, man. We got to learn how to throw it away and start over. So the second thing he said, Karai, you was reading that in Josephus. He said, and the second is to do what?
It says, and the other by practical exercises.
It said by practical what?
Exercises.
Go ahead.
Line 172.
Hold on. Get that second definition of piety that you had. Yeah, you got it?
The exercise of these affections in obedience to his will and devotion to his service.
So do we understand now what piety is? Is it just reading the Bible? It's what? It's putting the Bible in practice. It's rehearsing the righteous acts. It's the only way to reform us. We have to change something. What's damaging to us is our opinion. We have to opt out of our opinion and opt in to thinking like the Lord, using his words. That's why David said this. Go to Psalms 119, verse 148.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 148.
Read that.
Right there. Psalms 119 and 148. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word.
He said, my eyes do what?
Prevent the night watches.
He said, my eyes prevent the night watches. What does he mean by that? He said, my eyes prevent the night watches, that I may what?
That I might meditate in thy word.
What does David do on a regular?
He's up meditating.
He's up meditating. But let's find out what that means. We're going to read this commentary right here on Spurgeon. He says, before the watchman cried the hour, he said that every watch, there was a watchtower. And just like you got a church bell that rings on Sunday at like 10 o'clock, or you got a city bell that rings every day at 5 o'clock to let you know it's quitting time, or you set your alarm on your clock to get up at a certain time in the morning. In ancient times, he said they had watchtowers, and people would tell you what hour it is. They would yell out the hour, and they would ring a bell. He said, before the watchman cried the hour, he was crying to the Most High. What does that mean?
He's completely relying on the Most High, even above time, even above keeping the time.
You know what he's saying? Nobody had to tell him to.
Yeah.
Nobody had to remind him. He beat the clock. He was ahead of the clock.
Okay.
He was ahead of the watchman. He didn't have to be reminded, hey, did you pray? He didn't have to be reminded, hey, did you study? Hey, did you try to do something different with the scriptures today? Did you try to use the Bible today?
Naturally inclined.
He says, before the watchman cried the hour, he was crying to the Most High. He did not need to be informed as to how the hours were flying. For every hour, his heart was flying towards heaven. He began the day with prayer, and he continued in prayer through the watches of the day and the watches of the night. The soldiers changed guard, but David did not change his holy occupation. Especially, however, at night did he keep his eyes open and drive away sleep. What did David do at night when he was tired?
He drove away sleep.
He fought sleep. To do what?
Pray.
To pray to the Most High. What does that mean? You know what we tell ourselves? Remember the sluggard? The sluggard do what? He said the sluggard is more wise in his own conceit than seven men that can render reason. You know what the sluggard do? Oh man, look how time flew. Man, it's getting late. Shit, man, I'm gonna get on this tomorrow. You know what? Hey, Lord know my heart. He know I'm tired. He know I'm tired. The Lord know I'm tired. Lord, I'm tired. We try to pray and pray, incorporate the prayer. Lord, I'm tired. Let my rest be good. David did what? David fought sleep.
That's hard.
He fought sleep to recalibrate his mind towards the Most High. Yes, sir.
It's like David kept that excitement of the new relationship.
Yeah.
Like you find the motivation in the will.
How can you? Yeah, but how, you gotta really dig deep because you still gotta fight that sleep off, man. You know how hard it is to fight sleep to study. If it's not habitual to you, if you're not accustomed to it, you can read one verse and your eyes start like.
That's right.
That one, you really get through a chapter. Try it tonight. Try it tonight after you took your shower, after you ate a full meal. Put your pajamas on. Put your slippers on. Get a Snuggie blanket.
That's crazy.
It's a Snuggie, like the white woman doing this in the commercial. A Snuggie, man. Get the Snuggie. Get comfortable. Open up the Bible. Let's see, and let the fight start.
Right.
Get your 2 chapters in tonight.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna start? Oh man, that neck gonna start bouncing. Oh, Oh man! Oh whoa! What's going on in my head? Your mouth start opening up. The chair go back. Try it. You're gonna see what happens. But this is what it takes to renew that relationship with the Most High. You got to push past that flesh. That's what David is saying, man. I fight sleep to get my relationship in with the Lord. He says, at night did he keep his eyes open and drive away sleep, that he might maintain communion with his Lord. You understand how powerful that is?
It's powerful.
That means you got to go to war with you. You can't listen to you when it comes to gaining a relationship with the Most High. Because if you listen to you, your opinion going to say, man, it's too late. You'll say, oh, man, I start tomorrow. There's got to be an easier way. I'm just going to listen to the Bible on audiobook. I'll just start there. Hey, the scriptures say despise not small beginnings. So I ain't going to trip. But I'd rather you read it. Because you know what's going to happen? You're going to read that same line about 15 times.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to do it right.
Well, you're trying to do it right.
Trying to really get it.
You're going to read that line once, and you're going to doze off before you finish. Then you got to start back over.
Your finger might still be there.
Your finger might be there. Or you might have a little drool in the Bible.
Yeah.
You might have a little slobber on it.
Yeah.
You might drool on it a little bit. And especially if you got a pen on it, you're gonna have all kind of marks. I call them sleep marks.
Yeah, look crazy.
These are like dinosaur scratches, all in your Bible. When you fell asleep, your hand slipped, and you just wrote a whole other mark in the Bible. You got all these little errors that don't even go to nothing, because you done fell asleep and your hand slipped. Yes, sir.
I remember I be doing homework, man. And I remember I was fighting that sleep out, and I wake up the next morning to review my homework. I'm just writing some whole different words. It ain't even a scripture. Whole different word, got no meaning. I'm like, what am I doing?
Because you know what you did? You wrote two different lines from two different verses. They wasn't even going together.
It was random words, though. It wasn't even.
There it is right there. That's the sleep marks right there. That's when that hand slip, that you doze off, your hand slip, that pen just whoop. You like, damn. Then you do it again. You got two side by side. Damn. You try to make it look like you tried to do it on purpose. You didn't try to do it on purpose. It says, at night did he keep his eyes open and drive away sleep, that he might maintain his communion with his power. He worshipped on from watch to watch, as travelers journey from stage to stage. He says, this has become meat and drink to him. Meditation was the food of his hope and the solace of his sorrow. It says, the one theme upon which his thoughts ran, that was that blessed word, which he continually mentions and which his heart rejoices. He preferred study to slumber. What is he saying right here in this verse? He preferred study over what? Over slumber. It says, and he learned to forego his necessary sleep for much more necessary devotion.
No, it's awesome.
It is instructive to find meditation so constantly connected with fervent prayer. It is the fuel which sustains the flame. What's going to keep you going? We got to retrain ourselves to reconnect with the Most High. And the first thing that you got to learn how to fight is your flesh.
Right.
First thing you got to battle is that sleep. Because all the things that's going to tell you is that I'm tired. That's going to be the number one voice that your opinion is going to be pushing you to do, is to give in to the fact that you're tired. Now read that again in Psalms 119, 148.
Psalms 119, 148. Mine eyes prevent the night watches.
He said, man, that's why we understand what he means when he says this. Man, I don't give in to it. I beat the clock. I don't need a reminder. I'm already on it. I push past my flesh. I don't need somebody to remind me to pray. I don't need somebody to remind me to study. I don't need somebody to remind me to do my homework. Did you do your homework, brother? Did you do your homework, brother? Brother, where's your homework? Brother, did you turn in your homework? Hey, brother, you write your scriptures out? We have homework here that we distribute to men. And we have to ask men all the time, hey, brother, did you turn in your homework? What most men do. But some men do what? Sleep. They prefer sleep. So, finish that in against Apion. He says, it says, for there are two ways of coming at the sword of learning.
It says, an immoral conduct of life. The one is by instruction in words. The other by practical exercises.
He said the other by practical what?
Exercises.
He said, but what?
It says the other by practical exercises. It says, line 172. Now
stop right there. Let's go finish up in we're gonna finish up in Matthew chapter 6, where Christ was trying to recalibrate our focus and tell us what's important. Matthew chapter 6. Read verse 22 one more time.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light.
And we're focused on the right things. He said our whole body is full of what?
Light.
Read.
But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
He said the whole body is full of what?
Darkness.
Go ahead.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
It says, if the light that's in you be darkness, the question is, how great is that darkness? Well, we can substitute that darkness, because when I'm alienated from the Most High through the vanity of my mind, the scripture does say we walk in darkness. We walk in darkness when we live life based on our what? Our opinions.
You said earlier in class about this man darkens his own understanding.
Yes. Through his opinion. And the problem is this. Especially especially in this situation. Go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 11. Don't let this happen when you're already dealing with a person that's highly opinionated. Don't let this happen. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 11.
Proverbs 18 and 11. The rich man's wealth is his strong city.
It says the rich man's wealth is his what?
Is his strong city.
That's his confidence, right? The person's wealth is in his confidence. His confidence is his wealth is his confidence, right? Read on.
And as a high wall in his own conceit.
It says, and as a high wall is what?
Wow.
In his own conceit.
And the richer the man is,
Can't tell him.
the what?
More opinionated it is.
The more opinionated it is, man.
That's crazy, bro. You
can't let a highly opinionated person accumulate some riches.
It's over.
You really ain't gonna be able to tell him nothing. That's what Kanye said, right?
Yeah.
Wait till I get my money right. You can't tell me nothing, right? He was right. He was quoting verses, didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Don't let us get some money and we're opinionated already. Oh man, it's good night. We're never gonna listen to nobody. That's a double whammy.
It's the truth.
An opinionated person with some loot, with some extra residual. You got money to blow?
Fun money, yeah.
You got fun money to spend? Oh man, you just a hater. That's all you're gonna say, man. You're a hater. You're a baller blocker.
Oh,
baller blocker. You're a baller blocker. You don't want me to have no fun. You blocking my shine. You trying to stun on me. Man, you're really not gonna tell somebody that has accumulated a little bit of wealth, and they're already in their opinion, man. That wall is gonna be even higher. It's better that we do it while we're broke. It's better that we refashion our desires while we're in the state that we're in right now. While we live day to day. Because we learn how to depend on the Most High. And that's all. That's what Christ is warning us from. Read on.
In Proverbs?
No, Matthew.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body, excuse me. We were at 23. So
23.
Verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
And that is evil because I'm opinionated.
Simple
And it darkens my understanding. Read on.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters.
And then that's why it says, that's why Christ is saying, no man can serve what?
Two masters.
So two masters. What's one master standing in the ring against the other master? Who's the two opponents? My opinion and the Most High's will. But my opinion is a lot also based upon what I find valuable. It's what I find what constitutes a treasure to me. Read on.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Either I'm going to hate my opinion and love the Most High's instruction, or what?
I'm going to hate instruction.
Hate the one and love the other. Or else he will hold to the one,
which is the opinion,
and despise the other.
And despise instruction.
I despise instruction, hold to the opinion, or forsake the opinion, and hold to instruction. Something's going to have to leave. Either the Most High's instruction is going to leave, and your opinion will reign, or the Most High's instruction will reign, and your opinion will leave. Someone has to be in rulership. A master is a ruler.
You can't. So you can't follow your will and the Most High's will at the same time, unless your will becomes the Most High will, like Christ did. And this is what Christ is saying. You can't do both. One has to give, or one has to go. And what's best for us is, in order for us to not turn into Cain, it's best that we throw away our opinion and learn how to adopt the will of the Most High. So the title of the class is called What Do I Do If Things Aren't Going My Way? Throw away your opinion and start over. That's what you do when things aren't going your way. Throw away what you want and start over in the scriptures. Throw away what you think you know based on your ego and start fresh with the Most High. A lot of people have a hard time starting over, but it's based upon what you value. Do you value your opinion, or do you value the Most High's instruction? Do you have that kind of consistency where you venerate and show the Most High piety like David did, where he fought sleep to give the Most High his glory? Can we at least start there? And with that, we're going to say shalom. We'll be back in action on Friday. We will have Monday class next Monday, but there will be no Wednesday class next Wednesday, probably, or Friday, because we're going to start Hanukkah and we're going to start the feasting. So we will have Sabbath. We will have Friday class. We'll have Sabbath class also, and there will be Monday class. But after Monday class of next week, there will probably be no class for about a week.
And we'll disclose locations and all that stuff too.
Yeah, we'll give all that information as far as where, and email us for those that's local. We're going to do a Hanukkah celebration starting on the 24th at sundown. All right, but we'll give those details. But Monday will be the last class for about a week, just so y'all know. And then, but we will have consecutive feast days and gatherings, and then we'll be back shortly after that, around the 2nd, I believe. The 1st. January 1st is another Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So probably won't have Wednesday class on that day either. So then I probably won't be back in class till Sabbath class. But now we got class on Friday, so we'll be back. Y'all see us again on Friday. Now we got to take care of everything. We got to get everybody squared away. If you have any questions, posted up the water for watching and spending your time with us tonight. We'll see you on Friday. Shalom.
Come on.